Why, hello there, everybody. It's me again. For better or worse. Burritos rolling over in the snow. William Sterling, as always, it is so good to see you. Mac the Punk, it is also fantastic to see you as well. I just happen to be Storm of Iron. This just happens to be SnowRunner. And it's nice to see you all on my Monday morning. How's everybody doing? I changed the color of this Freightliner to red because that was the request of my nephew. My nephew wanted a red truck, so therefore I made a red truck for him. He was hanging out yesterday, and I also got to meet my newborn niece yesterday as well. So that was exciting. And I got to tell you, my nephew's like 4 years old now. And I don't remember this with him back then, but my niece was like holding a top-heavy bag, like a top-heavy plastic bag filled with Jell-O. Just like, I mean, it was difficult. It was very odd. Very odd. And as much as I say I've had burritos the size of small children, I'm pretty sure that yes, in fact, I have had a burrito that has been the size of this small child. So, take that for what you will. More importantly, well, not more importantly, but maybe less importantly, how is everybody doing? I hope you've enjoyed the weekend. Mine was far too quick. Way, way too quick. And now I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is that I'm going to do. Although I have an idea here. Because we are now... Mac the Punk, hosting with one viewer. Thank you very much, good sir. As always, it is delightful. I think what I'm gonna do, however... Let's start things off with... No, you know what? Yeah, we'll do flatbed. So, I just had a thought. Cowboy Tucker, how are you? How is everything? Hope all is well. Nice to see you here. I am going to do a thing. We have the concrete plant that is over here. And for the factory main block, which is in the other map, we need 3 concrete slabs, which is a total of 6 cement. So what we're going to do is we're going to get creative because I had the foresight. Well, you know, I'm certainly not going to ratch out for breaking out of your healthy routine. Because honestly, I need to get into a healthy routine. Because it's actually getting nice outside. It was like 75 degrees on Saturday. Granted, I ended up working on Saturday. Cowboy Tucker, I'm doing pretty good. We're here on Monday. We're going to be doing some hauling and some cargo, as always. But more importantly, William Sterling, it's frowned upon, yes, absolutely. But the thing is, you need to make sure that when you roll over a fence or smash through a fence or completely annihilate a fence, that things like your license plate bracket do not fall off the front of your vehicle so that the local constabulary can catch you. Because it's only illegal if you get caught. Words of wisdom to live by. Not that I've ever done anything like that, mind you. These are just random musings that are coming out of my, cranium and such. So, yeah. But no, everything is good today. everything is pretty darn good. We've had a good weekend, aside from the work thing. But, here we are again. It's Monday. It's Monday, and William Sterling, I do not have a burrito. Also, I'm going to make sure that this little bit of cargo disappears, because we don't want to get hung up on that. What we're going to do is we have this 5-slot cargo trailer. And to make 3 concrete slabs, we need... Let's pull up a little bit further. So, to make 3 concrete slabs, we need to get 6 bags of concrete. How do you... What... I'm not sure how that happens with a train. How did he... Okay, that bears going into further. How does that happen with a train? Because I can only imagine that a fence is on the tracks, or, like, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Kind of weird there, buddy. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, so we need to make concrete slabs. So we actually need 2 units of cement per per concrete slab. I have a 5-slot trailer. Here's where the magic happens. I had the forethought to load up a 5-slot cargo trailer with 5 full loads of cement the last time I went over to the concrete plant. So I have 1 extra bit of concrete in the concrete plant, which means 5 plus 1. We're good. As long as we don't dump this all over the place, we'll be good. Although we're going straight back there, so that's kind of weird. No, William Sterling, I imagine that it won't. You get creative in your mayhem. Well, that's exactly what I'm saying back to Punk. That's what I was thinking. Like, somehow he decided to sideswipe a fence by jumping the track, or I'm not entirely sure. Because it just, without the proper context, the imagination goes into weird places. Rebecca and Miracle, that is a good thing. You've done that too. Okay. Okay. That is a thing that happens. Actually, hold on. Let me do a thing here. Because we gotta do a thing. There we go. Now we're back in business. When I broke my wrist, I had a cast that had, like... Mac the Punk, 100%. 100%. But yeah, Rebecca and Miracle. When I broke my wrist, I was on a four-wheeler one time, and I had a cast that was up to, like, my fingers here and my thumb right here. So I could still kind of hold a pen and sort of write, which was kind of a big deal, because that's a lot of what I had to do for work. and that and like typing stuff onto a computer. I actually broke my wrist riding a four-wheeler, and it was ages ago. And the bone that I broke, it was right in here. There's like a crescent-shaped bone that is apparently the worst bone to break and the most difficult to heal because of the lack of blood flow, all kinds of other weird stuff, and just a very odd bone to break. So what ended up happening, I was riding a four-wheeler, I was coming up to a rise, and it was like this big dirt lip that just went up and plateaued off. And at the top of the rise, there was a tree line, so the trail went directly into the tree line. So I stood up on my pegs, I leaned over, and my weight is on my handlebars as I'm trying to look over the rise to make sure that nothing is coming from the other direction. So there's bushes over either side of the trail. So as I was going up over the rise, looking ahead of me, I failed to notice that there was a bush covering a giant log that would have laid down across the trail. And someone had just basically, they chopped out the center of this log so that it was exactly the width of the trail, and the bushes had grown over it. So the log was huge log. So the front tire of my four-wheeler clipped, and it forced and jammed the wheels to one side, which in turn forced the handlebars to one side. And the one handlebar twisted in on me, and I almost went up over the handlebars. And it was probably some of the more intense pain I've ever felt in an extremity. So it hurt a lot. And I almost went up over the handlebars, and I stopped, and I had riding gloves on. So I pulled off the riding glove to check and everything, and I'm like, okay, all right, everything looks fine. I can still kind of move my hand, so everything's got to be fine, right? I can't have broken a bone if I can still move my hand. So I put the glove back on, and it had Velcro around the wrist. So what I did is I tightened the Velcro around my wrist. But what started to happen is I couldn't squeeze my hand. So that was the clutch? Yeah, I think that was the clutch. So I would take it, and I would just kind of like try to like pull it, basically. And I finished up the day that way, and it was miserable, and it was grueling, and it was awful. So on the way home, we stopped off at a car show. I still had my gloves on, whatever. I got home, and then my hand started to swell. And instead of having knuckles, I had dimples. I had dimples in my hand. And my hand had puffed up like big time. So my mom's like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital. You got to get that checked out. I'm like, I don't need to go to the hospital. It doesn't really hurt. Why do I want to go to the hospital for? So she's like, if I call the hospital and there isn't a big line or wait in the emergency room, will you go? I'm like, okay, yeah, if I can get in and out of the hospital, I'll go. That's fine. So I ended up driving to the hospital with my brother. Turns out, walked in there, the place was jam-packed. Absolutely jam-packed. I have no idea why it was so full of people. The admitting nurse looks at me and basically like screeches at me like a harpy. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I gave her my name. I stood around, I looked around for a couple seconds. I looked at my brother, I'm like, let's get the hell out of here. So we went and we stopped at Wendy's on the way home. The next day I decided to call up my primary care physician. And they had me schedule time to go get it checked out, x-rayed, that whole thing. But here's the funny part. I didn't hear back from the from the x-ray. So I called up my primary care physician, and they're like, yeah, you know, in that particular instance, oops, wrong way, everything's probably fine because, you know, they didn't call you back right away, so you're good. You're good. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. That's exactly the thing. So the next morning, so now it's 2 days after I've injured my wrist. My doctor's office calls me. First thing in the morning, they go, what are you doing right now? I'm like, working? And they're like, are you moving your wrist around? I'm like, well, I'm writing, and I'm typing on a computer and picking up and lifting things. And the nurse was like, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop moving your wrist. There are pieces of bone floating around inside of your wrist at this point in time. And that was like, okay, this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing at all. So this was like 9:30 in the morning when she called, or 8:30. I couldn't remember. It was like first thing in the morning when they're off. I don't even think their office was open at that point in time. So they scheduled another x-ray, and this time it was out of the emergency room. So they wanted me to go to the emergency room after work and see the x-ray people to make sure they didn't have to set the wrist. So then I was in there, and he was like, okay, you're going to need to have a cast. I'm like, is there any way around not having a cast? The doctor was like, no, you need a cast. You have pieces of bone floating in there that needs to heal. You can't not have a cast. What is wrong with you? I'm like a lot of things. There's a lot of things wrong with me. So he gave me the option of what color I wanted my cast. And I believe it was like, I want to say it was like green, blue, and like that white tan color. I went for the blue because it closely resembled the Yamaha blue of the four-wheeler I was riding when I completely obliterated my wrist. So, yeah, that's how I broke my wrist. That was a good time. But no, Mac, you're 100% correct. It's like, I'm gonna just not worry about things. Sure, it's a searing, stabbing pain. My hand is beginning to swell up like a balloon, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm still conscious. I'm fine. All right, I want a truck that has more fuel capacity because we're going to be going for the long haul on this one. See, realistically, I should have grabbed the bricks as well. Because I need 4 units of bricks. I need 3 cargoes. So that's 6. That's 10 slots of cargo I need to... What did you end up doing to yourself that necessitated that kind of immediate care that you put off for like a week? All right, you know what? I'm gonna go get bricks with this thing. We need 4 units of bricks. I can get 4 units of bricks with this. This giant lumbering bag of awesome. I've been to the emergency room a handful of times for various things. One of the scarier things was probably when I had a partially collapsed lung. Moya Surfer Dude! I'm doing fantastic. How are you today? We are talking about hospital visits. Kind of an interesting thing for you to pop in on, but you know what? That's okay. Yeah, back when I was probably a senior in high school, if not... Yeah, you know what? I think I was a senior, or going into my senior year, because it happened over the summertime, and I was working for a construction company. I am by myself. I'm on a construction site, and it's this huge, massive piece of property, and it's surrounded by woods, so there's legitimately no one there. I'm cleaning out this lower lot, and I'm starting to have some pain around my chest that's like a vice clamping from like front to back. And so I'm kind of worried about it, and I just kind of shrug it off, and I keep going, and I keep going, and I keep going. So it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Apparently, I had decided at one point in time that, you know what, maybe a pain centered around my heart region is not the best thing to try to put off. So instead of going directly to the hospital, I stopped by where my old man was working, and I went looking for him. Funny enough, as it turns out, my brother, at that point in time, had missed the bus. So my dad had to take him to school. So my father was not at work. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, tell him I'm going to be at the hospital when he gets back. So one of the guys hearing this is like, oh, and he starts to panic. And he's like, oh, get in your truck, get in your truck, get in your truck. So I'm like, okay, all right, we'll go, we'll get my truck. And then his idea was that he was going to drive me to the hospital. Ooh. Oh, man. Mac, that is rough, dude. Dislocated the arm at the shoulder. Popped it back in. How bad is the pain to pop back in a shoulder that has been dislocated? I've never had a dislocated joint or something, so I'm very curious about this. Because it seems kind of wild. Moya Surfer Dude, it definitely is different kinds of... different levels when you're in a hospital. That's for sure. It all depends on what you're there for, too. Also, apparently, my brother... Let's see. Bilirubin is going down. Okay. You know what? That seems like an entirely appropriate thing to do. I mean, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. All right. So bricks. Let us transport. Let's see if we can transport this load of bricks to the area we need to go to. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but let's find out. Yeah, Needles, it's funny. Needles, not a fan. And I actually got into a confrontation one. I wouldn't even call it a confrontation. It was more so... Ooh, that's rough. That's a big old mess. When I went in for my hernia surgery, so I had a double hernia surgery ages ago. And at the time, I went in there, they brought me in, and the nurse was like, okay, is there anything that I need to know? And she was just about to do the IV. And I'm like, I'm actually legitimately deathly afraid of needles. And she saw the one tattoo I had on my shoulder. And she immediately gets confrontational with me. You're lying to me. You have a tattoo. That means you don't have a problem with needles. That's, you know. And I'm in for my first surgery ever. I am legitimately terrified at this point in time because I have no idea what to expect. So I'm in there, and this nurse is giving me lip because I've got a tattoo, and I'm telling her that I'm afraid of needles. And VT Outlaw, I do have truck darts ready. I have truck darts ready in a wild way for you guys. We are also currently talking about hospital trips and our various medical maladies that have occurred to us throughout the years. So, I do have truck darts ready for tonight, and I've got a different spin on truck darts, to which I have absolutely no idea how it's going to work, because it is untested. Much like everything that I do, it is untested. So we're going to see how it works out. If it does, in fact, work out. If it doesn't, okay, that's fine. We're moving on. So we'll, you know... Ooh, ow. We'll go from there, though. So hopefully it'll work out all right. I'm not sure, because the physics in this game are kind of goofy, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. Oh, what are you saying? Oh, be quiet. Apparently my phone heard me ask something about Goofy. That's bizarre, because I wasn't talking about Goofy. We're okay, though. We're all in one piece. We've survived the hospital, so... I know, it was bizarre. It's strange. It's kind of happened. Oh, also, I don't know where he went, but pertinent to our previous video game that we have played, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I have finally received in the mail, and I had been waiting for quite a while now, I ordered the Eivor Funko Pop, and he finally showed up this afternoon. So I'm rather happy with that. This way. Ooh. Oh, dude. Completely dislodged and disconnected all of the muscle from the bone in your left leg at the shin. Holy crap. That's kind of intense right there. Like, that is legitimately... Man, that's rough. That is some seriously rough stuff right there. Oof. Also, as we're talking about maladies and pain and everything else, wait, did that work? I don't know if that worked, or if it was something else. Hold on. Well, apparently that doesn't work at the moment. So... Don't mind me. That's weird. I'll tell you what. I know, I am breaking everything, and I don't know what's wrong with it. Don't hurt yourself, Mac. That's very peculiar. I don't know what is wrong with that. Let's see if this works. Race division. How are you this afternoon? No, all this stuff should work. Lurking and working. Working and lurking. we are attempting not to dump over this truckload of bricks. We're trying to. Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. You know what? It which is typical. That's like typical my luck. Let's see. Where is the thingamajigger that does the thingamabob? Oh, there it is. Why is that not there? I don't know why it's not there. Also, wait a minute. What am I doing? Totally off track here. Now, back up. And let's hopefully not dump all of these. There we go. Yeah, okay. There we are. We're good now. Yeah, I don't know what is up with that. Which, I mean, it's typical my luck. So, Mac the Punk, you are back. Did you injure yourself or not? Inquiring minds would like to know. Because that would be unfortunate if you had a bathroom accident of the injuring yourself variety, not of the free-flowing liquid variety. We're good, though. All right, let's see if we can get this, if we can actually get the twin steer to the second half of the map. Actually, I wonder how this thing's going to go through all the mud and muck. Also, I still need to fiddle with things behind the screens. So, Race Division, how are you this afternoon? What is good? And Ginger Snaps, I hope that you are also well. Your brother and the tub. Yes, an unfortunate bathroom incident, and then it takes 3 days to figure out that, like, things are broken. I don't know if I have heard the tub story, Ginger Snaps. Although now I'm fairly curious about this. I'm also trying to remember the first time that I actually went to the emergency room for one reason or another. I did flip over a go-kart when I was younger, and I opened my elbow up, requiring several stitches. Pay attention to where you're going. Don't text and drive. Your fault that your brother's foot went through the tub. That's awesome. I don't even know what the explanation is, but already that sounds awesome. Alright, let me do a thing here. I don't know why this thing is not working at the moment. You know what? Even the alert command isn't working. I do have alert command, and it's totally not working. I don't know what's up with this, guys. It appears that none of my doodads and thingamabob are actually currently functioning properly. Well, I don't know why. Hold on a second here. This is unusual. Okay, that's unique and interesting in and of itself right there. Alright, so apparently I have lost all my commands, and now I gotta figure out Ooh, Mac. So, like, how do you fix that? You just kind of put it back on? Like, how does that even work? That's terrifying. Oh my god. Yeah, that would necessitate a new tub from then on out, actually. Holy moly. Oh, there's only a little bit of blood. Only a little. just a small bit of blood, just a tad. A skosh, if you will. Oh, boy. Also, anyone have any ideas on how to get commands back after they've up and vanished and disappeared? Also, this twin steer is actually doing better than most other trucks have in getting through this stuff. Ooh, ooh. So your finger didn't look like it was. It didn't look like it was something out of Hellraiser. So that's at least a step in the right direction. Look like Uncle Frank. Completely deflensed. Defleshified. Rough. That is so rough. Enjoy. I would say hit that lurk command, but apparently nothing is working at the moment, which is par for the course. So, yeah. Don't know why. That's very odd. We got some, yeah, we got plenty of stuff going here, and I don't know what's wrong. do a little bit of a thing. And it... Okay, why do I not have the doodad that does the things? Huh. Weird. I don't know. I guess it's not that much of a big deal. Yeah, so, none of my commands are working. Cool! And I actually set up a couple of them. Go figure. It's just, this is typical. Typical of my luck. Alright. And back at it to the mud. And oddly enough, this is probably the most effective truck that I've had to go through all of this. It's not bad. But these trucks are actually like the most powerful, which is a good thing. They never actually had all-wheel drive right from the beginning, which is unfortunate, but it's no big deal, Moya Serpa dude. I'll get it figured out eventually, or at some point. But it seems like the thing that is supposed to be in the chat to do the thing isn't actually in the chat to do the thing. But I don't know if it's the thing in the chat that's supposed to do the thing. If you understand at all what I am talking about. Because I certainly don't. I also once wound up going to the hospital emergency room after rolling over a go-kart and winding up underneath of it, and the brake disc had actually like zipped open my elbow. So when I looked, it was like boop, wide open. It was about, and you could still faintly see it, probably not on the camera, but it was like this long. Another what? Hold on. Tennessee. Knoxville, Tennessee. Police report multiple victims in Tennessee school shooting. Yeah, that's upsetting. I don't know, guys. That's upsetting. And upsetting doesn't even begin to cover. We're here for different reasons, though. We're here to wrap up our days, to good. So everything about that's frustrating. All right, so moving to the next map. To get to Big Salmon Peak, to get to the drop-off point for the bricks. Settings. Variables. Alt. Alright, this is bizarre because this stuff should be up and running. It's just not up and running for some weird reason. What does reset commands do? The first car show of the season is a Cars and Coffee that is happening on the 18th in Derry, New Hampshire. Let's see if that works. It's up in Derry, New Hampshire, and it's the Southern New Hampshire Cars and Coffee. And I don't know what's happening that weekend, so that's this upcoming Sunday. And it's like 8 a.m. to... Is it 8 or 9 to like 11? And that's always a fun time. I personally like a Cars and Coffee more than I like a structured regular car show. I much prefer it. What happens if we test the widgets here? No, it's not widgets. I don't know what's going on. Very odd. Check one more thing. But yeah, a buddy of mine just got a 2016 Audi S3, and it's already had a tune and had one of the intake pipes replaced, upgraded from the stock plastic stuff to metal stuff. So that he's probably going with. So it should be a good time. And a first show of the season, or a first Cars and Coffee of the season, should be fantastic. What happens if we do this? Hmm. That's pretty cool, though. I would need something good to stream on. The only thing I have would be... I don't have a GoPro or anything like that, so I would actually need something that would be a little bit better than what I have. But it would be cool to do something like that. And if I did get a GoPro, I would put it in my Camaro. Absolutely put it in my Camaro. And just, I enjoy just going to that stuff. I enjoy hanging out, walking around, grabbing a cup of coffee, and just bumping into the people that I know, or simply finding new people that I've never met before. The off-road Miata, lifted off-road Mazda Miata in green military paint, parked next to the brand new rear engine or mid-engine Corvette, or like a Lamborghini or something like that. I mean, just that level of stuff is just incredible. It's so awesome. Okay, so we are going to drop this stuff off. We're going to drop off this load of bricks. It would be pretty wild to stream from a car show. That's true. And actually, one of my other coworkers just replaced. Everything I have now kind of works. If my wheels were junk and completely leaking, I would probably replace them. But for the most part, I'm just going to roll with what I have for the time being, because they're not bad. I mean, sure, they could be better. Although, if I do end up doing something different, I'll probably get adapters and run adapters and put different wheels on. Because that upgrades it to the more common 6x6.5. I think it's 6.5. I forget what the actual bolt pattern on a Trailblazer is, because it is the most ridiculous bolt pattern that nobody else uses. So you're limited to Trailblazer, Envoy, Isuzu Ascender, and Saab 97X, I think. Okay, unload the bricks. Okay. And recover. Back to... So we are still in Big Salmon Peak. So now we need to take the... We have to get 3 concrete slabs. Okay. Back to this garage. Figure out what we're going to take over to the concrete plant and get the 3 concrete slabs, which is 6 cargo slots. And then we'll go from there. I would like to get new wheels on that thing, though. you're not wrong that I should do something like that. Where'd it go? Okay, so it says try to turn the bot off for 10 minutes and then turn it back on. Yeah. Yeah, SEMA, and it's interesting too because SEMA stopped being an all invitation style show, and it's actually something that you can buy tickets to. And one of the companies that we actually used to do business with, they were a huge tuning company in the area, and they dealt pretty much primarily with the GTR, so the Nissan GTR, and they sent a couple cars to SEMA, and they actually closed down for the week and would all fly out to SEMA. And the company no longer exists, unfortunately, because they decided to close the doors, so... Alright, so I need something that is capable of pulling... We don't want to use that because that didn't work out so well. It would be nice to be able to use the Caterpillar, but we can't use the Caterpillar because it does not haul a trailer. Azov is not powerful enough. See, it's basically back down to the Kolobs again, which is the unfortunate thing. The heavy trucks, we get the P16, the Caterpillar, both Kolobs. That Caterpillar is utterly useless because it can only haul the special trailers, which is too bad. The Dan... So the Navistar I would like to use, but I don't think it'll work because it's just the differential lock and it would just churn through all of that fuel. 49X... I don't know if any of these are really... The bore is just... I don't know what's wrong with the bore. It's not a very... It doesn't have the grunt to it. Dairy Longhorn is garbage. Yeah, the Dairy Longhorn power-to-weight ratio is a B+, which is terrible. 3194 is slightly better, but I don't know if I could actually use it to haul 3 concrete slabs. E12 is only 2-wheel drive. Azovs. I don't think I could use... No. I don't think this thing would work. So it's basically back to the Kolob again. And against my better judgment, we'll go with the flat nose Kolob for this time, because we've used the long nose Kolob for so much previously. Throw some different tires on here. Huh. I don't know which one was better. Because, I mean, these ones look more aggressive, but... I'll do those. Death Angel. How is everything this evening? What's good? Saddle high. Yep. So let's roll out with this bad boy. And we'll get the giant trailer. I mean, I suppose I could do something like a couple smaller loads. I'm pretty good at the moment. We are going to the concrete facility to get 3 concrete slabs, and then we're going to bring them over to Big Salmon Peak So the wide flatbed only does 5. Super heavy semi. You know what? We'll do that. Adjust the suspension. Crank that bad boy all the way up. And the biggest issue is going to be getting this giant trailer, yet again, out of the concrete plant. Because it's always interesting trying to get, trying to get the trailer. Yeah, so we've already run into issues here. Trying to get the trailer that is this size turned around is comedic in its futility. Level 8. But that's 7 more levels than 1. So you're moving right along. Which map are you still in? Michigan? I love the Michigan maps. I really, really enjoy the Michigan maps. They are so much fun. Let's see if we can't. Also, I conceivably could have done something like gotten 3 smaller truckloads. You can do quite a bit, and you can do quite a bit more than you think you can in this, to be perfectly honest with you. Also, keep in mind that you can go to the Russian map. You can simply go there and purchase a truck and then bring it back. You can retain the truck and bring it back to the American maps as well. So don't forget that. Alright, so let's see if we can't do something goofy here. Alright. But as always, this is a game of inches. Yeah, you can do that. So if you level high enough to be able to unlock a truck that you want to get, and it's over in Russia, and it keeps saying that you can only buy it in Russia. This has this actually has potential to work right here. So this is a game plan that we can engage in. Oh, this may and or may not work once we have it loaded up with 3 concrete slabs. So that's all right. We'll get this going. We'll make this work. It'll be fun. And we'll use like half a tank of fuel just in trying to get the truck turned around. All right, so we want to make slabs. 1, 2, 3, and then. All right. 1, 2, 3 concrete slabs. But now, we need to take these 3 concrete slabs and bring them to Big Salmon Peak for the factory. And then from there, I think we need 2 pipes. 2 large pipes is what we need. Okay, so let us see how badly we're going to we're going to absolutely butcher this. Alright, so nope, we're on a stump. Damn it. Thank you very much for the follow, man. Super appreciate that. Now, you get to get notified every time we go live. And we do goofy stuff like this. Alright, so I think what I want to do... I'm trying to thread the needle here. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make this. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make it work. Oh, really? Did you manage to get out and about, Moya Surfer Dude? Because that is good news. That is very good news. Of course. Gonna bump into that thing. Not over far enough. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. It's just, I've done this a couple of times before, and it always turns out to be an interesting situation. But it's always a fun situation. I've been creative in making this work several times so far. And I don't think this is going to work this time either. Or it might. Alright, so now I'm going to attach a winch to this side. Go. But hopefully... we're gonna make this work. All right, so maybe we'll make this work. That's right. Maybe not. Ah. I gotcha. I gotcha. That's totally understandable, though, Moya Surfer Dude. Absolutely understandable. Alright, so how do we do it this way? This is also totally not going to work. But you know what? We're gonna force this to work. Oh man, maybe this wasn't a great idea either. But all right, there we go. Now, try to go straight back. Are you kidding me? I'm stuck on a... I'm stuck on a wood crate. Oh my god. Alright. We're good now. We're good. Go. Nope, nope, stop. See, we're getting there. We're getting there. I am on the PlayStation 4. I am a big-time PlayStation gamer here. So, PlayStation 4 it is. As much as I would like to get a PlayStation 5, they are still completely unavailable. Alright, so... Let's just strong arm this thing. And unfortunately, there's a telephone pole in our way. Well, that's all right. We've got a winch. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make this whole thing work. All right. Just let me get this thing straightened out. Oh yeah. Here we go. There we go. And a little bit more of a... As long as we don't lose the cargo down the river, we'll be good. Good. That's right. Back on the road. And that is how we make it happen. With an excessive amount of creativity. Oh, it's too funny. It is way too funny. So, Death Angel, what system are you playing SnowRunner on? I know, I am super classy, and I make things happen. Oh boy, do I make things happen. Actually, oddly enough, I think the turning axles on this, because it's like a cab over design, I think it definitely helped out. 216! How have you been, 216 land? Xbox, nice. Are you using any of the mods on the Xbox? Actually, 216, I did my taxes as well. You know what? I realize, where's Relic? We have not seen Relic this afternoon. I am running no mods on this game. I'm not really a big mod fan. Mostly because I don't want the entire game to crash or for me to lose all of the ridiculous amounts of money that I have accrued in playing this game. Because that would be unfortunate. Yeah, 216, I did my taxes and finished them yesterday. Oh! Oops, I should pay attention where I'm going and hopefully not drive off the road and lose the cargo that I currently have. Alright, there we go. So 216, how is everything going? Have not seen you since the other day with You were a Wayland stream the other night, though. I remember seeing. And that is very cool. So, I trust things are well with you. I certainly hope things are good with you. Although, let me try to send a message to Relic. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so... Relic, where are you, Relic? There we go. Still? Everything's still pending, so to speak? Basically any day now, right? Also, definitely missed you in the stream, dude. Actually, we're only down a third of a tank of fuel, so that's not terrible, all things considered. I was actually lucky enough to meet my niece, my new niece, who is a week old, and I got a chance to meet her yesterday. So, of course, she plopped in my, or I plopped her in my lap, and I play video games. So, there's that. Alright. Actually, you know what I could do? I could get the Caterpillar 745C and drag this thing along with the Caterpillar running lead. That's always an idea. Yeah, Moya Surfer Dude, I will put up a picture this evening, and you'll be able to see it. But I will definitely send you one. Actually, let me do that now before I forget, because let's see. So, 216 land, now, okay, so tomorrow, I've got a funny little story to add to that as well. The badges, we changed the badges, or at least I changed a lot of the badges and stuff. And I got some new neat stuff. We get some cool emotes, we get some cool stuff. Oh, how is Outrider? I do want to check out Outriders. That actually looks really, really good. Outriders looks fantastic. I was actually reading up on that earlier today. And yeah, we've got new sub badges, new emotes, new all kinds of stuff. So there is some neat stuff. So it's one of those kinds of video games, huh? I don't know, honestly, what I'm going to end up playing next, because I do have, and I still have, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and I do need to play that. I know it's not keeping in the same theme of SnowRunner, but it's more back to the Norse mythology kind of thing that sort of kicked off. Now, did you get the PlayStation 5, or are you still running with a PlayStation 4? Because I totally forget. And I still can't believe both Joker and Wayland managed to get a PlayStation 5 early on. I really should have tried going for one of those things. Because who knows when they're going to be available. So the Division... Okay. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, so it's a mix of a lot of different games is what I was gathering from reading several different sources, several different articles, all kinds of stuff. I'll probably end up picking it up. Nah, it's okay, man. Don't worry. Because we're here not to worry. We are simply here to have fun. And there we go. We're here to have fun, hang out, have a good time, and that's what we're going to be about. That's what we're always about over here in this wonderful channel. Also, that reminds me, I should try to put... let's see. All right, let's flip back CloudBot. Okay, let's see if that works. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I certainly hope that the channel doesn't get spammed with commands because it finally wakes up and realizes that it missed a whole bunch of stuff. You know, and there's still a ton of content left with SnowRunner because I have a lot of stuff left on Big Salmon Peak, and I've got Wisconsin, a ton of stuff in Grainwoods River and Black Badger Lake. So there's an obnoxious amount of content left on this game to play, which is pretty cool. I really do like this game. This game is a fantastic game. It is unfortunate that it's not cross-platform or anything like that to actually increase the pool of players, but I can understand why they can't, given that the mods would probably just go nuts and wreak havoc on the system architecture and everything. And then nobody would be able to connect to anything. And you'd probably just get booted offline. So oddly enough, I think this truck is doing better than it had previously. Good enough. Keep making it work and keep making it work for us. Also, for anybody who hasn't thrown the follow out there, you can hit that follow button, get notified when I do go live, because I do kind of have a little bit of a sporadic schedule. Things are, you know, it's a Monday through Friday after work kind of thing. I am on the East Coast, and usually it's going to be about 5:30, 6 o'clock kickoff time, a couple times during the week. There's no real set schedule in stone, because I kind of work around a couple other people at the same time. But we make it work. We do make it work. Or at least, I try to make it work. I also try to make it fun and at least slightly amusing. Because we do have truck darts coming up tonight. And I have a little bit of a different spin on truck darts tonight. I have no idea if it's going to work or not. It could be a total train wreck. We'll see. punch it up a gear. Going a little bit better. Yeah, I will say that the flat-nose Kolob is a little bit more maneuverable than the long-nose Kolob, but I feel the long-nose Kolob has a better ground clearance and actually does better over certain types of terrain. That's just my thought. It's a wait and see kind of thing. So depending on what happens, probably thinking somewhere in the 7:30 range. We'll start with truck darts. Where, you know, depending on where we're at, of course. You know, some of the stuff might actually be closer on the other map, but this is probably the easier route to take and get, you know, from point A to point B. And then there's actually like warehouses with materials that don't run out. Unlike some of the other warehouses that have like a finite amount of materials. So it works. Oops. Shift that out of high gear. All right, let's see if the doodad works. There it goes. Now it works. So, if you do in fact want to, the lurk command is up and running. And I forget what else I have in here. Oh, excuse me. Oh, hold on. We can do this one, too. So we can do that one, and we've also got that. So there's a couple different things we can do. Oh, also, 216. I think if you see a couple of... couple of those guys, we've got some stuff that you may have missed, and those are for our subscribers to the channel, because in supporting and subbing to the channel, it actually allows me to do and get more things for the channel. So that was a couple weeks ago. That was just a handful of weeks ago that I ended up, or not, maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. But that's what we ended up doing. That's what we ended up making. That's what we ended up getting. So things happen every now and again. And sometimes I don't just wing it. The horn has sounded, and the mighty relic has arrived. The horn resounding. Actually, what was that? That was Eric the Viking, wasn't it? The horn resounding. Eric the Viking was a very strange movie. Not bad. Just strange. Also, it would have been unfortunate if our sound alerts were not working properly, but those are obviously working. Oh, man. So I think to finish this one, it is going to be this load of concrete slabs, and then I can go and get 2 large pipes, which I don't recall what we need to make those, but we apparently have to craft them, I think. We'll find out. Exploding Nazi testicles and skulls. Oops. I am apparently texting and driving, so I'm driving into phone poles. You weren't playing like Duke Nukem or anything, were you? Or no, Wolfenstein. Duke Nukem went downhill. We're talking about Wolfenstein. I mean, it's potential. Such a giant cab for such a lonely man. I mean, you could see all the real estate that's in there. Oh, you know, I saw the advertisement for that. No, wait, that's a free game on PlayStation Plus right now, isn't it? Tell me of wonderful things, because 216 Land is right now playing Outriders and says it's a fantastic game. I had been considering taking that for a spin. And also, I did watch the trailer for Zombie Army 4. I've never actually played any of those games or heard of any of those games before. Oh man, I'll have to check it out. Is it fairly easy to pick up, or what's the lowdown on the Zombie Army 4 activity? Alright. Push this up a bit. See, this is where I had wished I had cruise control, so I could hit cruise control and then take a sip of a beverage. Which I'm just going to take a sip of a beverage now, while the truck is just coasting. Yeah, because it was Zombie Army 4, and what was the other one? There was something else that was available. Which I can't remember the name of it, so... No kidding. Ah, yes, that's right. It was Days Gone. Thank you very much. You know, it's funny. Zombie Army 4 looked a lot like what some of the stuff that happens in Outbreak. And I saved a particular video clip from an Outbreak game. Probably the first or second Outbreak game which I had tried, and it was, what was the objective? The objective was to grab the 2 Ethereum cylinders, bring it to the rocket, load it up, and launch the rocket. There were 4 players, and 3 of them went down. the only player left standing was me and my M60. And a horde of zombies. And it was probably one of the coolest moments to ever have, even though we totally failed the mission, to stand there and hold off an apocalyptic wave of zombies coming at you, just holding the trigger down, 200 and some odd rounds down the pipe, then to try to make room. You know, it's funny, I was having a discussion with our very own loader just the other day, and I was actually watching him play Mud Runner. It's not the same as this. It is very much not the same as this. I've never played it. I've watched gameplay of it being played, though. And it just doesn't look as fun. It doesn't look as colorful. It's very muddy and murky and just depressing, I guess. I mean, it's not that this game isn't depressing. You're like the last survivor of whatever particular Holocaust or rapture event, or possibly aliens came down and transported every single remaining human being off of the planet except this guy. This poor, lonely sap who seems to think that he should continue to deliver cargo even though there's not another vehicle on the road. And most of the time, there's not even animals on the road, or animals anywhere in general. So yeah, it's some disastrous aftertime event, and we keep going for whatever reason. Perhaps if he stops, he loses all hope and motivation. It is possible. Yep. Alright, kick it up. So, let's go for an inside the cab view. Although, it turns out that the stickers we have decided to put on the bottom of the windshield take up probably a good 20% of our windshield real estate there. But that's okay. Actually, which way are we going? Yeah, we're going the right way. Okay. We are, in fact, going the right way. No, they aren't that good? Okay. What was the vampire game that spawned several sequels, had the main character Azrael? Soul Hunter? Oh, crap. Relic probably knows it off the top of his head. Not, Raziel. Legacy of Kain. The Legacy of Kain series, that's what it was. You know, Sniper Elite, I didn't, actually. I've looked at those games, too, and I've kind of considered a possibility of picking them up and playing them. Yes, the Soul Reaver series. That is exactly it. That was a very fun series of games. It was a lot of fun. It's like Legend of Zelda with vampires. Oh yeah, there's a little walrus right there on the dashboard, just kind of bobbleheading along. I like a game where I am up against a... Oh, you do? Holy crap. That's pretty cool. I know I have my PlayStation 3. I don't know if I still have a working PlayStation 2 anywhere. I want to say my PlayStation 2 had an issue with the laser to read the disc. Or at least I think that's what happened to one of them, potentially. Alright, so how much fuel do we have? We've got about a half a tank fuel. Okay, we can pull this off. We can make this happen. We're good. We're good. Get them up, move them out. Ride! Next map, Big Salmon Peak. Here we go. Relic, that is awesome. I knew of all the people you would have all the cool consoles. Also, I have, yet again, another semi-transparent bag, but this time it is filled with Reese's Peanut Butter Cup eggs. Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, we have J. Stew in the house. J. Stew, father of a newborn. J. Stew, how is the small humanoid doing this evening? Gotta turn on those headlights. Gotta turn on these headlights so we can see. Yeah, these things are pretty good. These things are actually really good. A storm cluster is forming in the chat. We may have to have the storm weather update. Although, I don't even know what the weather's going to be tomorrow. Milk drunk on the boppy. The boppy, you say. So, when someone tells you they have a boppy, and it is not followed by any kind of context whatsoever, and you're supposed to just guess what a boppy is, guy, I've got no idea. This little nugget of awesome goes down the food hole. And it tastes delicious. Alright, we want to go left. But I didn't know that's what you were referring to. Terrible little human being, you. Oh. Okay. Alright. Swing this corner. Yes. Residential quiet zone. Please be respectful. As this thing just goes brrrr. Oh yeah. Here we go. Okay. Now, let us deliver 3 concrete slabs. You know, still. Alright, we've got plenty of fuel. Now we just have to simply make it up the hill. That's all like icy and stuff. Milk drunk. So the little fella is not really up to the task of feeding the small humanoid yet. Also, the best analogy that I can come up with for holding the newborn is it's like a top-heavy plastic bag filled with Jell-O. Just... Also, I gotta stop here. I gotta grab another one of these things. These things are so good. Because when you start, then you can't stop. And it's like... Ugh. Too much soda. Although, you know what? That's right. I've got leftover pizza. Yep. So I ordered for lunch today Domino's because I had a free. I actually oddly enough, I had 2 redemptions for free pizzas. So it's a medium 2-topping pizza for free because I've spent whatever it is, dollar figure. Oh, are we not going to make it up the hill? Oh, this is unacceptable. That's right. Coming out, climb. Ooh. Moya Surfer Dude, that sounds awesome. Oh, nope, nope. So, I had a pan pizza, which of course is an upcharge, and it had bacon and chicken, and that was awesome. I was very happy with that today. They cut it weird, so the slices were very mutant-shaped and kind of oddball. But that's okay, because it was an awesome lunch, and I have leftovers, which I will heat up and consume, probably later this evening. It's just way too good. I really can't do anything other than the pan pizza. The pan pizza, like the extra thick, all the cheese, it's so good. It tastes like a completely different pizza. Alright, so we're making forward progress here. We're doing it. Also, J Stu, we were using the red truck earlier that the little guy had picked out yesterday. So I was using the red truck because he picked that one out. Now we've just moved on to this giant land mover. All right. Now, pop it up in the automatic and try not to slippy slide all over the place here. Gonna pick up the pace just a little. And then after we deliver the concrete slab, we'll have to see. I see you found where the button was. The Viking Warhorn. Oh yeah, that's right. We get creative in getting this trailer turned around. That's right. I forgot about that. We'll do it again. Oops. Nope, we don't want to do that. Icy roads are no fun without chain tires. Popcorn chicken. Dude, those tacos sounded amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, way too good. Also, a couple of friends of mine had gone up to the Tuckaway Tavern over the weekend, which is a destination location. It's a butcher shop / restaurant, and it is amazing. Okay, so that's that. Hmm. Something doesn't seem right here. Because we have, in the residential area, 2 cabins. But how can you possibly jam? Yeah. Tuckaway Tavern, they went up there, and they actually got... Oh, Relic, that's awesome. That looks so good. Wasen the Third? I'm not really sure how you kind of roll that one off the tongue there. But yeah, they had the I believe they had the poutine up at Tuckaway Tavern, and then they had them put pulled pork on top of the poutine. General Norman, Rebecca and Miracle, totally okay, completely, entirely, completely, 100% okay. Also, something's up here because it's asking for 10 cabins? This is bizarre. That looks like an obscene amount of taco meat there, Relic. So I'm supposed to put 2 cabins in the residential area, but it's asking for 10. You know what? To the internet momentarily, because I need to figure this out. Yeah, this is weird. Norman, how are you doing today? We're kind of trying to figure out why this one is glitched here. Alright, so apparently this is a glitch. Stuck at work for a little bit longer. That's not terrible. It will get better. And eventually you'll be out of there. Barbecue brisket mac and cheese. Relic, that is taunting. That is absolutely taunting. Okay, Big Salmon Peaks contract, factory main block. After the usual list of bricks, slabs, pipes, etc., the next stage is cabins. In the contract map screen, it states cabins times 2 to the residential area, but in-game, top left of the screen says cabins times 10. Not that I don't appreciate the extra work of taking 20 lumber over to the construction zone to produce these cabins. Okay. Let me just figure out what's going on here. In-game solution. An easier way. Oh, of course. I don't have the ability to... Yeah, this isn't going to work. Oh, man. Okay, so apparently this mission that we are on is currently bugged. So where it does say 10 cabins, that's kind of a pain. That is kind of a big pain. So it says... Oh, come on. So apparently I either have to reset, which means I will have to transport all of that cargo all over again, or... Or I make 8 more cabins. That does not really... Not really a good friendly time. That's unfortunate. Let's go back and let's see if any of the other ones are goofed up. Okay. This one says cabins times 15. That's also not right. So that means we actually need to... Although we didn't deliver any of this stuff. So that's not a bad thing. Ah, see, there it goes. There it goes. So now, I just restarted this one that we didn't actually deliver anything on. That was reservoirs. This one says 10. So we'll restart. And it's back down to 2. Okay. Alright, so apparently this is the in-game glitch that had to be worked around. I see. Okay. Which means... I'm actually going to have to restart this mission. Yeah, see? There it goes. So I restarted the mission. And now I have to transport all of this stuff back. And I lost all of my progress. And all of the places that I had stuff... So that means they're going to have to pull stuff from all over the map again. Okay. Yeah. So that was disheartening because we had actually worked quite hard to get a lot of that stuff up here. Also, we're now almost out of fuel. Tell you what, we'll just back this thing up. We'll get it turned around. We'll get it headed back towards the garage, and then we will start working on accomplishing all of this stuff again. So, originally, Gastron, the beacons would always default to always on. And some people, I guess, didn't like the beacons always on. So, now their default setting is off, and you have to go in and actually turn them on. Which, I mean, it's kind of a pain, but I don't mind. So it always defaults to off when you start, and then kind of goes from there. So tell you what, we'll get this truck back to the garage. We'll drop off the trailer. We'll... Let's think about this one here. some of the stuff is a little bit easier than some of the other stuff. No problem, man. No problem at all. I can't remember which patch it was they did that in, but I also remember originally when this game first released, if you had beacons, there was no on and off switch at all. So that was kind of funny. All right, man, that's a bummer. You know, I really wish I had caught that, or had at least had read about that glitch. But what can you do, I suppose? Oh. Having a hard time here. Alright. We'll go back to the garage, and we'll get a fuel truck just to get this thing back. I'm slightly bummed out about that, actually. We want that one, or do we want... No, we'll use the Kodiak. Actually, wait a minute. Are they scout vehicles, or what are they under? Could do the F-750. I think it's actually going to be under the off-road trucks. Yeah, it is the longest trailer in the game, Norman. And I believe they introduced it in... I think it was the I think it was this expansion, the Yukon expansion. Because they did the 5-slot wide trailer in the Amandra expansion. Okay, so let's take a look. What do we got for add-ons? We get the small fuel carrier and the roof rack. Okay. Run this little guy out. Go fuel up, and then bring it back. So... Actually, if you watch the Expendables 2, you'll see a bunch of these trucks show up towards the end of the movie. These trucks are really not too friendly on the pavement, especially with the tires that are on it. But yeah, the 8-slot trailer is gigantic, and you really have to be careful about the logistics when you use it, because we've had issues where it's been very difficult to turn around, like at the concrete plant, where I was almost completely stuck. But then again, the Kolob, one of the Russian trucks, is capable of hauling even the heaviest of cargo. But I mean, I can take the truck, this little tiny truck right here, I could take this and then use either a ramp or something, and I can put it on the back of that giant trailer right there. Refuel. Okay. So that's all fueled up. Now, back to this guy. So let's drop off the trailer, because I don't actually want to just make the trailer go away, because that is one surefire way to lose your investment in the trailer. Because there is an option to simply make the trailer go away, which I get it, it's useful, but also you lose the money for it. Also, we are coming into truck dart time very close here. So I might end up just selling this trailer, and then we may end up over in Alaska and checking out truck darts. Okay, because let's see. So that's a $9,400 trailer that we would lose if we just made it go away. So this is the wide flatbed semi-trailer that they introduced in Amandra for various tasks, and it's actually pretty useful. It's very stable, but it's also really only useful on vehicles like the Kolab. Here's a trailer that was in the start of the game. It's only a 3-slot trailer, but it's got ramps that you can lower that you can actually put other vehicles on. And believe it or not, there is a setting, if you put a vehicle on the trailer, you can actually lock the vehicle down. It basically chocks the wheels and everything else. It's kind of neat. My brother just sending me pictures of my nephew. But yeah, everything's a possibility and an option with these things. So recover that. And I might actually, for the interest of time, if I have some downtime, I could potentially... Yeah, so Amandra introduced a lot of, like, the 5-slot wide trailer. But let's go back to White Valley. Let's head over to White Valley and let's get ourselves ready for some truck darts. You know, it's funny you mention the aircraft mission. So when I did that, I didn't realize that you actually had to use the wide trailer provided by the game, or else it didn't recognize as being completed. That was kind of annoying. Also, I'm going to have some more Reese's here. Hold, please. Because these things are so good. There's still quite a few left, and I probably should not eat a ton of them. They are way good. But yeah, the aircraft mission in Amandra, I liked doing that one. That was a fun mission. It's stuff like that that's a blast to do. Let's see. Which truck do we want to take over there? You know what? Let's take the good old Chevy CK 1500. Oh, it's Friday night for you, Norman. That is awesome. I like this truck. I like everything about this truck, except how it works in the game. Yeah, Moya Surfer dude, you're not wrong. It's very difficult to just kind of put the bag down. Okay, so let's take our little Chevy CK 1500. And you know what we'll do? We'll put it in first-person view because this is a view that is very familiar to me. And this truck is actually a 1990 because you can tell by the steering wheel and the gauges, because that was like a 1 year only kind of option right there with those half moon. Actually, was it 89 as well? 89 might have had those style of gauges as well. But I did have a 1990 454 pickup truck that was two-wheel drive, all black, short bed, short cab. It wasn't a step side, though. I've always wanted a step side because I thought that would be kind of fun. Those Christmas trees, nope. We're gonna eliminate those Christmas trees, Norman. And then we can sell them to, you know, somebody. This is why scout trucks are not good in this game. They just don't go through any kind of reasonable amount of mud. Like, they just sink. They just sink right to the bottom. And then they just get buried up to the axles. Dig themselves. Oops. Differential lock. So. Oh, this is an automatic as well. Huh. Actually, this thing's got reasonably low miles on it. 4,836, or it's possibly 1,004. 836. So, this is the initial line over here. And these are the Royal BM17 and the Caterpillar CT680s. But then also, right here, we have our other line of trucks. This giant rainbow-colored Armada that is the twin steers. So this is a giant line of 12 twin steers, which we have upgraded to, but it's a good time. So, let's see. Let us park this little fella right over here. And now, we want the one all the way on the end. So this will be yellow. But yeah. This is ridiculous. Everything about this is utterly ridiculous. So, now, with that said, we have things slightly different this time. Yeah, VT Outlaw, you haven't seen it since we've upgraded the trucks. We lost the ANK MK38, and we decided to upgrade to another 6 twin steers. So, into the sunset we shall ride. Everybody ready? I know I am. All right, so park and brake off. And we've got a little bit of a surprise. Oh, Norman, you have no idea, my friend. So, as we are heading... Get that right. Oh! Oh, hark! What is that? There are things that look like a ramp. Let's see what it does. That was, Huh. I did not expect that. Oh, man. I did not expect that. Take two. So we have certain vehicles at the end of the ramp to create a ramp, but it didn't exactly go as I planned. And, well, try one more time. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. And I see physics does not like the red one. Oh boy. So, you have no idea how long it took me to set up with my crane all of those loaf vans and the scout trailers that are attached to them to create like a ramp for these things. Apparently, this is like one and done. I didn't know if they were going to stay. I didn't know if... Well, okay, let's try this now. Oh! Oh, look at that! We landed on all the tires again. Oh, wow. That was something else entirely. I'm sticking primarily to the twin steers because they are capable of the most amount of catastrophic damage, and they are the easiest to control down the runway. Also, I've not given any thought as to how I'm going to recover all of those scout trailers right at the end of the runway. There's no way of securing them. There's no way of... Alright, let's just kind of bop it. They just flail around. They just flail around. This is amazing. I had no idea that they would do this. I guess this is testing in action, if you will. Wow. This is good stuff. I didn't think it was actually going to do any of this. Honestly, I had no idea what the result of putting scout trailers attached to vans at the end of the runway would actually end up doing. So, we have one right there. Let's just kind of knock it over the edge. That was a bounce. And the tire's just still spinning. Yeah. Whew. All right. I've been working on creating a ramp, and VT Outlaw, I believe you missed the episode where I took the extra wide flatbed trailer and tried to actually secure it and stuff all of these vans underneath and behind it to lock it into place, and it didn't work, like, at all. Alright, let's clip this guy. Didn't have enough to kind of do a cartwheel. But we're still looking back in a different direction than when we launched at. You guys have no idea how much setup time goes into all of this. Just for a handful of moments of chaos and destruction. But it's fun chaos and destruction. Alright. So it looks like we've knocked most of them off, so let's just start launching it off the lip here. And... oh, are we gonna... ooh! Yeah, that was a straight-up pile... whoa. That was like a straight-up pile driver on that poor van that is sitting right below the water line right there. That's some rough stuff. Alright. Send another one. This one. Oh, orange? Something like that. You know, it's not so much getting the trucks recovered and bringing them back over here. The amount of setup time, because each one of those little vans basically needs to be hauled over here by itself. Alright. Ooh. Pogo. Ooh. Ooh, yeah! And now it's completely submerged. Cockpit camera view, not available. This truck is completely submerged. Look at him. He is totally underneath the water line. Hold on. The truck is coming up by simply hitting the horn. Oh, this is unbelievable. Okay. You know what, actually? I think an in-cab view is going to work for, like, these last handful of ones right here. So why don't we do that? So let's see how this truck flipping end over end from a cockpit view is going to be. And hopefully he doesn't do that creepy thing where I can see, like, the empty socket where his head is supposed to be. Alright. Oh, yep. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Ugh. It did that thing where you saw the stump. Or no, it isn't a stump. It's legitimately like a nothing is there kind of thing. Man, these trucks. These are so much fun. Okay. Let's do another in-cab view, because this actually is kind of neat. Although it's neat and it's terrifying all in the same breath. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh, we're gonna see the stump. I don't want to see the stump. Oh! The headless dude! Oh. Ugh. So weird. Creepy. Straight up creepy is what it is. this, so we get 2 more to do here. 2 more twin steers. But for whatever reason, I think there's something in the water that's preventing me from kind of going full pogo action, which is unfortunate. Let's kind of try aim slightly different. Let's come in at an angle. And let's take off from the ramp this way. Oh yeah. That was a successful pogo. You know, honestly, Norman, you're not wrong. All right, come on. Where's that last one? One more. Where are you? There you are. All right. So, last one. There's so much chaos and destruction. All right. Start over here on the left-hand side, and then we'll sweep right and try to kind of do a thing. All right, and there we go. Outs. Coming around. And it starts up. How did that one get further? That one actually got further than the other one. Oh, man. Okay. That was a good time. So, there they are. Broken Hulks. B. Patrick Camp. Good sir. How are you this evening? We have been launching trucks off of our runway for truck darts. And because we have more, actually, let's advance the timetable back to change truck. B. Patrick Camp. That is good to hear. I am very happy to hear that, actually. So now, we got all these other trucks. We've got another 12 trucks to launch off the ramp. And I don't know how far we're going to get into it, but we're just going to keep going. I don't have anything else to hit at the end of the ramp because I've knocked all of it away. And I guess I wonder if these, like, smaller trucks would do better. Oh yeah, hang time. And a bounce. And submerged. It is always a pleasure to see B. Patrick Camp. That is awesome. And where are you? Are you going to a destination, or do you have something in mind? Actually, B. Patrick Camp, where is your dream destination for any vacation? If you could pick anywhere in the world, where would you go on a vacation? Like, everything notwithstanding about the current state of affairs, and we launch off sideways. Ooh. Didn't expect that one. Ooh, an aquarium. That would be very cool. I have a recommendation. If you ever had the opportunity to visit the Baltimore Aquarium in Baltimore, Maryland, do not pass up that opportunity, because that place is utterly awe-inspiring. Now, is there a particular place in Japan you would like to see? Or is it just Japan as a general destination location? Oh, shit. Well, that didn't work out so well. And we completely ruptured the fuel tank. Those runway lights, they get you every time. Fantastic. That I like to hear. That is good to hear. And everyone else, dream destination vacation. Not against the backdrop of the world as it is, but the backdrop of the world that you want it to be. Okay, that's very cool. That is very cool. Let us go back and find another vehicle that is not hemorrhaging fuel to then take it off the edge. There's so many cool destinations around the world. One of these days I should actually, like, get on a plane and go see them. Or at least, you know, a handful. Alright, let's try this again. And let's not... hit that runway light. Anything else that's going to get in our way. And we're going to do a thing. Style points. Here we go. That's a surefire way to just ruin exhaust stacks right there. Yeah, they are very icy. This whole runway is very icy. So it just kind of makes it interesting trying to keep the truck straight going down the runway. There it is. So these may be the fastest trucks in the game. They are also the most difficult to control at high rates of speed, because once it starts going, you're not recovering. Australia and the Azores. Actually, it's funny. I have a coworker who is from Portugal, and he goes to the Azores, or he's been there multiple times. All right. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Alley-oop! Away we go. Oh, yeah. B. Patrick Camp, you are always welcome, no matter how short or long the stay is. I hope you are well, and I hope things continue to get better. And as always, I enjoy our conversation. And I certainly enjoy when you pop by. Alright, let's send another Royal down there. Absolutely. Because even if you don't hit the moon, you are among the stars. And the wonderful thing is, aren't we all just made of star stuff? Every single one of us. Moya Surfer Dude, it also sounds like you've done an extensive amount of traveling as well. Be good, Be Patrick Camp. Be good. Some dirt, some rocks, some stones. And now we're going to hit another thing. We're going to kind of body block that. None of that turned out even remotely how I wanted it to. Although, oddly enough, we have this truck up here. Oops. Yeah, so when you actually go into the truck, physics apparently decide they want to work again. Also, I have no idea how I'm getting all of these trucks with the trailers back up top again. It's going to be a mess. Just a colossal mess. Okay, one last row before we are through. And let me see if get anybody popping on yet. Okay. You are quite well traveled, and that is very cool. I, however, am not. I've been in a car as far south as Richmond, Virginia, or thereabouts, and as far west as western Pennsylvania. All right. Let's see what we can make happen with a Caterpillar CT680. Perhaps it'll stay in a straight line, then I can launch it off the ramp at the end. Or not. Ooh, and bounce. Oh, yeah. It's like somebody just grabbed it by the tail and just whipped it around. This is too much fun. I could do this all day long, and I would not get bored of it. Just one truck after another after another. Some of these trucks are much better than some of the other trucks for launching them off the end of the runway. But we have referred to the... Okay. Oops. Crap. Oh. We've ruptured the fuel tank. I'm not paying attention, and I'm texting and driving, and that's what happens. Well, that's kind of interesting, though. I would love to visit Scotland, because that is where I have ancestral roots. I also have a family that came from Germany. My grandmother, the amazing woman that she was, and who I hold near and dear in my heart, one of the most amazing and incredible people that I have ever known. She came from World War II Germany. She met an American soldier who was my dad's dad. They had a family, or they got married and they had a family. Yeah, so my my grandmother met an American soldier, and I believe my dad, my uncle, and my aunt were born on a military base in Germany. I've actually got some stuff from him, and I have his actual transcripts. And oddly enough, there was a fire in one of the records facilities for Army transcripts and stuff like that. Luckily, his was one to have survived. And in there, in the transcripts, there's actually a whole written transcription that was done in front of like the medical review board, where he was trying to stay in the military and basically was saying, yeah, I'm good enough to stay in the military, because he had some kind of medical issue that they were trying to discharge him. So he went before the medical review board. Yes, Mac the Punk, we are hurling trucks off the runway. So the interesting thing about that is I have a transcript of his actual words that he spoke, written down, transcribed by a secretary probably, or anyone like that. And it's really cool to be able to have something like that, because he wasn't around for very long. My dad was like maybe 12 when his dad passed away. So to have something like that. That was a Dukes of Hazzard slide right across the hood of that truck right there. But to actually have a thing like that gives me an idea of who he was, or at least a little bit about him, I'm happy to have even that small sliver. I do have his flag, the flag that covered his casket during, his funeral. And I've got some other little things that my grandmother had given me that belonged to him. Some like various personal effects and stuff like that. But my grandmother was always very, very far-sighted. She planned ahead a lot. She was an incredible woman, and I truly wish that she was still around today. She would make friends wherever she went. It didn't matter where. She would always strike up a conversation. No matter where she was. She was getting gas somewhere, or picking up a pizza. Yep. Yeah, that was one of the things that I did bring up. Yeah. That flag sits kind of right over there. Right up on the top shelf. And it's the weirdest story of how I wound up with that flag, That was... It's like 17. Maybe a junior in high school, I think, at that time. My first truck. It was a 1971 International Harvester pickup truck. Two-wheel drive, automatic transmission, 304 V8. And I had gone to Kmart, bought a whole bunch of paint, and measured out and actually painted a giant American flag on the hood of my truck. And when I was done, I wanted to show it off. That was an interesting bounce. But, yeah, I wanted to show off that flag that I painted on the hood of my truck. So I decided that my grandmother was around. I'm going to go see her. So I pulled in the driveway, and the little walk, the steps up to the door, and she always would hear somebody coming in, and she would come out and wave and everything. So I showed her the hood of my truck, and she was so excited and so happy. So she goes, hold on, just a minute, hold on. So she goes back inside, comes back out, and she had like a plastic, I guess it was a map case at one point in time, and it actually had like handwriting and stuff on it in black magic marker. And inside of it was a folded up flag. And up until this point in time, and I'm 17 or 18 years old, I had never seen my grandmother shed a tear before. I had never seen my grandmother. And it's not to say that she was stoic, as much as that I don't think I had never seen the woman cry. And she had tears in her eyes when she handed this to me. And it was then she told me that it was the flag that covered my granddad's casket. And I, being a 17-year-old kid, had no idea what to say about this, other than it was an incredible honor to receive something like that. And the fact that just it was, something so special to her that it was so special that she gave it to me. And it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And throughout the years, she would give me little things, pictures, personal effects that belonged to him, things like that. But I still always have that flag right up there, right on top of the shelf, and I see it every day. And I do wish she was still around. And if I could tell every single person I knew about my grandmother, I would, because that's how incredible of a person that she really was, She was that kind of person. She was that incredible. But life doing what life does, it's forever a cycle, and forever a wheel, and for every beginning there is an end. And it's never like a movie. It's never like a novel. It's never like a story. Life is life. And it's not that I wanted to leave on a somber note, because we just finished hurling trucks off of a runway airstrip. But it was one of those things that I felt important. Because to remember where you come from is important. To remember the past is important. To honor and cherish those who came before is important. And you just don't honor people simply for the sake of they are your elders, so you honor them. You honor and cherish those who truly deserve it. I am a firm believer in that just because you're related to someone. Norman, thank you very much, man, for hanging around. We're just going to wrap things up here. But that's awesome that you hung out, and thank you very much for hanging out. I am a firm believer in just because someone is related to you doesn't mean you automatically pay reverence to them. You're right. Norman, you're right. Because we are in Storm Chat. And we should be in Storm Chat. But yeah, just because you're related to someone doesn't mean you're, you know, you somehow have you don't owe that person. If you've always got relatives there, and in large families too, you're always going to have a complete spectrum of the types of people that a family has. And there are sometimes good people, and there are sometimes terrible people. And if you're related to a terrible person, you don't have to deal with that. You don't have to. And that's one of those important things to teach kids too. At least I feel, you know. Yeah, I haven't had any for a while, Relic. Um my grandmother that I've been talking about, she passed away in 2013, was it? Yeah, see. Um exactly. Mac the Punk. You're right. And it's not about who you're related to. It is lived, man. It definitely is. And it's a nice little way to wrap things up. Yeah, actually 2012 is when my grandmother passed away. My mother's side of the family, my grandmother lived a couple years after that, but eh, but just because you are blood um doesn't mean you have to pay reverence to someone, especially if they're a terrible person. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. And family is more about, simply being related to someone. There's all kinds of different families too. So, Gastron, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Um, yeah, and I know that we're here to have a good time. I know that we're here to have fun, and we're here to pitch trucks off of a runway, and we did that. But like I said, the more people that I can tell about my grandmother, that I can tell how amazing she was, and how much time I was lucky enough to spend with her, to do all kinds of different things with her. And Mac the Punk, I am glad for that. I am happy for you, and I am happy for every single individual who has the ability to do that. And life's a weird thing. Life is a very strange thing. J Stu, my little brother, spent so much time with her. The two of them, she'd be there waiting for him when the school bus would come at the end of the day, and they would hang out and they would go places. Yeah. She was one of the most genuine human beings. There were stories of her when she had finally settled on the house that she lived more than 20, 25, whatever, how many years it was. It wasn't that far from an Air Force base and a military base. So she would visit the PX to do her shopping, to do whatever it is that she needed to do to pick stuff up. And she would go drive there. And if she saw a soldier walking, she would stop. Hey, you hungry? You want dinner? I'll make dinner. You need a place to crash for the night? Stuff like that. Stuff that you could do once upon a time. And so many more different things that she did throughout her lifetime. She raised 4 children. My aunt, 2 aunts, my uncle, and my dad. She raised 4 kids by herself in a time where you didn't do that. In a time where she came from Germany. She, immigrated from Germany. And, a single mother. And it just, well, she came across on a boat with my granddad. And when they finally had stopped moving around, being a military family, and they had finally settled in a home to stay. So that's wild stuff. Really wild stuff. But no. Family is what you make of it. And those that you decide to have around you, and you make that family. And I am really happy that everyone is here. And I know I'm probably carrying on, and nobody wants to listen to me talk anymore, but that's okay. You're on my channel, and this is Storm Chat, because I am Storm of Iron, and we've been playing SnowRunner, and we did some truck darts. And that's how we will end things. Loader, how's everything? We end on a good note. Because, guys, thank you, each and every single one of you, for being here. Thank you for hanging out, and thank you for supporting the channel. And if you haven't hit that follow button, hit that follow button. And if you have the ability to do so, hitting that sub button certainly helps me out. Exactly. Gastron, there are people like that. And this world needs more people like that. So even if it's just smiling at somebody, a friendly hello, just do it, go out and do something good. Relic, thank you very much. And everybody, as always, that follows along. Thank you. And we'll do it again. But now, let's figure out who we're going to raid. Let's do that. I was waiting for one Gigi Edgley. Thank you, Mac the Punk. And guys, really, come by anytime. We talk about anything and everything. So how about we go raid G's channel, because I know she's not there yet, but we're all waiting to oh, there we go. Why is this not working? All right. We're going to get this going here. All right. So, we are going to raid G's channel, because she's apparently popping online. I don't know why it's not raiding. All right. There we go. We're going to pop over there. So, guys, thank you again. Have a great night.